Thank you, Tina, so much. I appreciate it. I'm so excited to be here today. I see a lot of familiar faces. So we'll just have a conversation. I may call on you. I know everybody's on mute now, but I may ask you to come off mute. I may call you out. So whatever help you can give me and the group, that'd be fantastic. You know, as a young child, I loved going to a smorgasbord, hence my waistline. But that's where I want you to think about today. I'll give you some ideas and take what you want, leave the rest. And if I can give you one or two nuggets that you take with you this next year, then I've done my job. I've actually changed the title of this talk to Questions Help Your Business. And I thought about it. It's more than just the questions. There's a couple of steps before and a couple of steps after that make the world a difference. We all have different styles of learning. If you think about it, when you were preparing your soundbite, that's maybe max 30 seconds. What did you do? Were you looking in the mirror? Did you record it? Did you write it longhand? Did you type it? How many times did you change it? Did you do it for 10 seconds, 15 seconds? Well, and that's for 30 seconds. So when you're having a meeting with somebody and you want to make an impact, shouldn't we take a little bit of time to prepare for that meeting? So my 5-step process is 1, preparation, 2, mindset, 3 is the questions, 4 is follow through, not follow up, and I'll explain that. And 5 is tracking. So let's start with preparations. We need to slow down and take a look at what we want to accomplish in that meeting. And when do you do that? For me, it's the night before. Tonight, I'll be going to the mixer, and I made sure that tomorrow's meeting that I have is not first thing in the morning. So, because I want to be at my best. And so, you know, you only have one chance for a first impression, and I want to make the best impression on that person that I'm going to be meeting with. Another thing that I do, I'm involved in the book club. I like to read positive thinking books and books that inspire me and help me be the best version of myself. So that's something that I recommend. If you have the opportunity, the person you're meeting with, did you look at their website? Did you look at Facebook? Did you check out their LinkedIn profile? Now, why do all that for a 30, 45-minute meeting? Well, you may, by doing that research and preparing, you may actually have the questions that you want to ask them. You might even know partially what their answer will be, but that'll lay the groundwork for making that meeting more productive. So preparing is so important. Did you have your coffee that morning? If you have a dog, did you walk the dog before your meeting? So, I mean, I have a dog in this room with me now. Any minute, because I'm talking, she's going to start barking. So I made sure she had some treats and that, you know, everything is prepared in order for me to give this talk. Now, let's be honest. I'm going to ask you to raise your hand. Totally honest. Have you ever rolled out of bed and went to a Zoom meeting with the clothes you were wearing? I want to see how many honest people we have in this room. Okay, I'm not the only one. So we need to look in the mirror before we go to that meeting. It's so important that we prepare ourselves and we get ready to make the most of that meeting, because again, that first impression is key. Now I want to talk about mindset. What mood am I in? Am I a morning person or an afternoon person? Should I set up that meeting for the afternoon, because that's when I have my A game? Or am I up at 6 o'clock in the morning doing my exercise and reading, and I'd rather do it in the morning? And part of mindset is what you tell yourself. You want that meeting and those questions to be stress-free. So scientists have shown that conditioning of our mind is so important, and repetition is also important. So I'm going to do something a little bit unconventional right now. I'm going to ask everybody to come off mute, everybody, and I want you to repeat after me, and then I'm going to tell you why I did this. So you ready? Okay, here we go. I have
I have
takes.
What it takes.
A little faster. I can
And
do anything.
Do anything.
I'm unstoppable.
I'm unstoppable.
Achieve
I can
achieve
whatever I set my mind to.
whatever I set my
mind
mind to.
I have superpowers.
I have
Superpower.
2023,
2023.
my best year ever.
will be my best year ever.
Ever.
I'm a winner.
I'm a winner.
Winner.
I'm a winner.
I'm a winner.
I'm a winner.
Yeah, winner.
I said it.
I said it.
Believe it.
I believe it.
That's it.
That's it.
Yes.
Period.
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 How do you feel?
Feel great.
How does it feel?
Mindset is so important. Self-talk, there's dozens of books written on self-talk, and you want to set the stage for a successful meeting, then you need to develop a talk that you write out for yourself, put it on an index card. It could be on a Post-it, and you need to repeat it, not once, not twice. Scientists have shown that by the time we reach the age of 18, we've had 150,000 no's. So we've been beat up. Imagine if you lived in a positive household and you only had 75,000 no's. So setting the mindset, setting the stage before the meeting, before you ask the questions is so important. All right, I'm going to move things along and we're going to get into the questions a little bit right now. So if you did the research, then the questions will come naturally. I'm going to throw a couple out. One of the things I like to do is ask myself the questions first. That's key. Now, why? Because have you ever asked a question and somebody comes right back and what about you? Now, I know I've asked somebody, and I won't say who this is, how are you feeling? And they went on for 20 minutes that they just got back from the doctor, they had their blood test, they got to go for physical therapy, they might need surgery. You know, I was really concerned about how they were feeling, even more so after that long talk, but that kind of derailed the conversation. So you want to have your answer prepared before you ask that question in case they come back. Now, there's open-ended and closed-end question. An open-ended question is, what are you doing for the holidays? And they may tell you a little story about what they do for the holidays, which is great. Have your story ready so that you can answer and tell them what you're doing and then keep you on track. Another question that I like, because in some of my consulting is in the nonprofit world as well, and I asked them, if you had a magic wand and could change anything in your business, what would that be? Because what that's telling me by me asking that question is it's telling me what their challenge is, what their problem is. And they also call it a pain point. If I know their pain point and their challenge, I am going to be able to help them with that situation. At least that's the goal of the meeting, is to have me be a resource for them. And it's about what you give, not what you get. As Tina says all the time, ditch the pitch. You know, I have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and I want to listen twice as much as I talk, which is why you ask yourself the question first, so your answer is prepared. A couple of quick questions, and then I want to get into the final 2 steps is what are potential business sources for you? So I want to know who I can connect them with to help their business. What events would trigger, or what life events would trigger an event for them? So if you're a financial planner, is it a death? Is it an accident? You know, is it a marriage? Is it a divorce? There's an example. What current strategies or promotions are you working on now? I want to know what's important in their business so that I know how they think. And I also will know if I can connect them with somebody that can take advantage of that promotion. So I do some consulting with veterans, and veterans typically across the board get a 10% reduction in fees when they're starting a business. So it's important for me to know if somebody's, you know, a veteran. Or what are current trends in your business. So what's happening in their industry? What's happening in your industry? You need to know the answer before you ask the question. All right, enough about question. I want to save time for the last two steps, and that's follow through, not follow up. How many times have we sent somebody a text, sent somebody an email, and this is what we hear? Nothing, silence. They're busy, they're in a meeting, they're traveling, and then they forget about it. I'm guilty. Let's be honest. Raise your hands. How many are guilty of saying, oh my gosh, I never got back to you. I am so sorry. Yeah, all of us from time to time, that will happen. So follow up is that text, that phone call, that message. Follow through is the next step after the follow up. It's setting that second meeting. Sometimes in the first meeting, when you're asking those questions, set up the second meetings. I had 3 meetings with Maria, who's in this room today, and I think it was the third meeting that we found out that we grew up in the same neighborhood. Can you believe that? 3 meetings to find that out. So it's important to set up that next meeting and follow through. Do what you say you're going to do. I want to tell you that we all need to embrace change. If these ideas work for you, great, take them and run with them. And 2023 will be your best year. And then tracking. Man, let's be honest again, raise your hands. Who hates tracking? Who does not use the back office, the CRM that we have in Master Networks? All right, come on. I see a lot of honest people in this room. What I'm going to tell you is that you need to know your numbers. You have to track. It doesn't have to be the back office. It could be a legal pad. It could be a notebook. It could be on your phone. It could be a formal CRM. It could be a day timer, a planner, whatever works for you, but make a commitment to yourself and to your business to track what you're doing, because you can't grow what you can't track. So that's about all I have for you. What I'll leave you with is don't let the meetings happen to you. Control the conversation, and time is all of our greatest asset, and use it wisely. Thanks so much, guys.